You could be on CNN right now.
Yeah.
You know?
John Lennon could be
a real news organization. You know, I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know.
No, unfortunately, I just, haven't, I guess, what was it you said the requirement for being a CNN job at CNN is?
Are you a pervert?
I'm not perverted enough. I guess. I don't know.
Well, he does have a point. There are some really dirty-minded, disgusting individuals at CNN where we are even hearing rumors that CNN is forbidden to do any reporting near schools, and with what their producers have been up to, that does make a lot of sense. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. This is Luke Rudowski here of wearechange.org, and we have a lot of absolutely crazy news to get into, as of course a lot of data and information is coming out officially breaking the narrative that is being told to you by the corporate media, as the latest data and information coming in is truly shocking and surprising, especially the latest data coming from the United Kingdom that is showing us the exact opposite of what the establishment wants us to do. We're going to get into that, plus a lot more. But before we do, the clip that we played in the beginning of this broadcast is from the official Babylon Bee podcast that recently hosted Elon Musk in a very eye-opening, thought-provoking episode, which I definitely think is worth watching. We're going to be linking that video down in the description below so you could watch it in its entirety. And even though we have been critical of Elon Musk previously on this independent media broadcast, he did drop a lot of major truth bombs on the general public. These videos are now going viral, as specifically he said, quote, "At its heart, wokeness is divisive, exclusionary, and hateful. It basically gives mean people a shield to be mean and cruel, armed in false virtue." And from everything that I've been seeing and experiencing, I think there's a lot of merit in what Elon Musk was saying here, and he spoke on things that a lot of people think but are afraid to articulate, as he then went on and talked about how wokeness is a, quote, disease looking to kill comedy, specifically detailing the latest events that happened with Dave Chappelle and a mob that wants to cancel him, which Elon Musk described as crazy, and detailed how some people are trying to create a humorless society that is, quote, simply rife with condemnation and hate, basically. His words are important, as some people have described a similar cultural revolution unfolding in the United States right now surrounding around these larger cult ideas of wokeism, which are having a very significant, important impact on the way that we live our lives culturally. To see a rebuke of it when most people are afraid to even mention it is honestly refreshing, and at least the conversation has started, as we desperately need more debate and honest discussions surrounding these topics, as of course they play a huge impactful role in our lives. Plus, it was very entertaining to see Elon Musk say that he's not perverted enough to be on CNN, a news network that right now is focusing on fluff stories, PR, entertainment, non-news stories, like the fact that Biden just got a new puppy. And here's some cute puppy videos presented by CNN, which is supposed to make you like Biden, in an extremely poor attempt to, of course, improve his very low approval ratings, as Biden literally discarded his own dog, threw him out of the house, a dog that he did not raise properly that was biting a bunch of Secret Service agents, and replaced him with a new puppy, which he will sure neglect and not raise properly. As someone who has a German Shepherd dog, this is absolutely infuriating, because if you raise German Shepherds, you know you need a leader in the pack. You need someone that the German Shepherd looks up to in your pack. And if you're the owner of it and you don't train it, you don't work with that dog will, of course, be neglected, extremely unhappy, and very dangerous for the people around him. Extremely irresponsible actions by, of course, the current president of the United States, looking for cute puppy photos and, again, creating more harm around him, which, of course, it's something that CNN didn't oddly talk about. Gee, I wonder why. Also, things that CNN doesn't talk about, the ever-expanding role of BlackRock and big finance when it comes to the complete control and monopoly of our everyday existence. And CNN also fails to add how human rights are in the decline and are being eviscerated by totalitarian governments exploiting a tragedy for their own personal political benefit that's being established with one of the biggest transfers of human wealth in recorded human history right now. And as some people line up with their government permission to see The Matrix 4, this is of course something that I refuse to participate in, and that's why I started LukeUncensored.com, our very own platform where we get to say and do whatever the hell we want, when we want. We're going to be doing yet another video later on today, exclusively available for you, specifically breaking down trauma-based mind control and the mind of some wokeists, as we're going to be doing a deep dive on the larger sociological perspective of the people that have been victimized by the establishment the most. This could be very useful, especially when it comes to understanding some of your family members that you might disagree with during the holiday season. We're going to be talking about that, plus a lot more, all exclusively on LukeUncensored.com. I hope to see you there later on today. Click the link in the description below to find out more and to access videos that are only available to members. Now, I think it's important to be skeptical of big industries that have a lot of power, that have a vast amount of money, that essentially have a lot of sway. There's a lot of these industries that are absolutely overpowered, have way too much money, way too much influence, and of course they have that because they have a revolving door surrounding the government and regulatory bodies which are supposed to keep them in check, but they're under their influence. And I think this is somewhat represented by the latest speech given by the President of the United States that literally mentioned a medical procedure 82 times in a span of 22 minutes, a procedure from a private company that the Biden administration wants you to take, from companies that are creating more billionaires than ever before in modern finance, as exclusively they are making money hand over fist in absolute extraordinary ways. The amount of money being spent here on all of this is astronomical. It's raising the American debt in record levels. But according to the President of the United States, the main problem are people who make money, quote, peddling lies about this industry and procedure. Yep, the people criticizing these big industries, according to Biden, are the true people who are making money, which is absolutely laughable. He, of course, also called for more censorship of independent voices, protecting the industry that, again, is creating more billionaires than any other industry right now. A lot of this is because of their policies also instituted by people like Dr. Fauci, who's being congratulated, applauded, some people would say even fluffered by so-called repeaters of the establishment, or as some people call them, journalists, like on ABC News, when John Carl literally said that Dr. Fauci is one of the hardest working human beings in America, personally thanked him for his service, as Dr. Fauci said that he's going to be doing this for a very long time, as he's very happy with himself, when in reality, all of the policies put forward by Dr. Fauci, by the President of the United States currently, by our current establishment, have absolutely been ridiculous, have failed, absolutely didn't work, to the point where the government can't even successfully test people. There's still concerns of hospitals being overrun, as the infrastructure has, of course, been neglected this entire time. Cases have dramatically gone up when they were promised to go down. People have complied with their whims, and yet all they got for it was predominantly, generally speaking, disappointment. That's the feelings of many Americans, as some of these bureaucrats double down, like we see in Chicago with the mayor there describing that people who believe in bodily autonomy, that their time is up, declaring if you want to live life as with the ease to do the things you love, you must do what I say. As more governments around the world, including some in the United States, are trying to impose their will on the citizenry as even in Austria. The government there will soon be hunting down people, issuing thousands of euro fines for individuals who believe in bodily autonomy, and of course refusing entry to individuals if they didn't get a third procedure. New York State, the European Union are also establishing decrees that now you need 3 procedures to be fully compliant with their domestic passport systems, as Bill Gates is being accused of fear-mongering, saying that this latest variant will be the worst surge that he has seen so far, telling people that he has canceled most of his holiday plans, warning people that the worst is still yet to come. And in reality, I think this meme here perfectly represents a lot of the larger messaging, as a lot of Americans are just sick of it. Tired of constantly hearing about this nonstop fear-mongering, these guesses, these estimates which have been wrong time and time again in order to push acquiescence and compliance. A lot of other Americans are also asking the questions, what in the world is going on here? As of course Biden is claiming that the vast majority of people dying from this sickness are the ones who didn't take the procedure that he wants. As of course, according to the CDC data, 95% of seniors have taking this procedure in the United States. The CDC is also stating that these seniors account for, quote, 70% of all deaths related to this sickness. And if you have 95% of these individuals that have taken this procedure, still 70% of them being accounted for all the deaths here, highlights here how Biden's assertions don't make sense at all and don't add up with the numbers that the government is purporting here. Even the World Health Organization just recently released a bombshell statement saying that this procedure, the third procedure pushed on the general public by the corporate media, by the politicians, by the bureaucrats, by Big Pharma, by the establishment, quote, will prolong this sickness crisis. This is not me saying it. This is the World Health Organization reported by CNBC, with the World Health Organization saying no country can boost its way out of this sickness. The World Health Organization is also raising alarms surrounding boosters in children, with the World Health Organization officially stating that this is not a good policy. And then we have this latest bombshell from the official data coming from the UK government. Right now, you are watching a web link from ons.gov.uk. This is not me making it up. With the United Kingdom releasing information showing how individuals who took 3 procedures are 4.5 times more likely to test positive for this latest variant than individuals who haven't taken this procedure at all. This is according to the Office of National Statistics, officially from the UK government, that, as we said previously before, has been keeping really good data about what's really happening here. And these are the official figures released by the UK government, illustrating this early preliminary data, which is absolutely concerning and flips the entire script and narrative by the establishment upside down on its head. The data here, self-explanatory, eye-opening, and potentially alludes to the point that this procedure could be making this entire situation that much worse. Now again, I'm not a medical professional. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not here trying to give you any kind of medical advice. I'm here looking at the data. And again, we also have to understand that this is early data. Correlation does not prove causation, but holy frickin' cow. This is surprising data from the UK government alluding to this major possibility that all of this is being made worse by this procedure. We should be having a conversation about this. There should be more studies surrounding this. There should be more data collection surrounding this, but there's not. There's the exact opposite of it, with governments doubling down, tripling down, saying you now must take 1, 2, 3, and a 4th procedure now, as Israel is even offering the 4th procedure to its citizens, which soon will be needed to be compliant with their domestic passport system. This could be why in places like South Africa, where the vast majority of people did not take this procedure, we have seen an uptick in cases that have been going down within a matter of a few days. And right now, the early data is suggesting that South Africa is already recovering and decreasing dramatically in the number of cases surrounding this specific variant, which highlights the potential, according to the Epoch Times, with the scientific study that they're mentioning, that they could be protected for life with natural immunity, which essentially could mean a major game changer for the American public and for the public of the world when it comes to ending all of this, which, according to some medical professionals, this is the best case scenario unfolding right now, right in front of our eyes. This should be good news. This should be celebrated. This should be talked about. This should be studied. This should be looked into before making any more mistakes, before ruining any more lives, before shutting down any more businesses. And it's not. What we do have is just more lies by the corporate media that still get promoted by big tech social media algorithms, promoting straight out lies, like allegedly the first death from this variant, which is being questioned by the same medical professionals, specifically from the Harris County Public Health Department. Again, there's a big, huge disconnect to what's happening in real life, to what is being purported to you. A lot of people that have agendas, that serve people, that work for very powerful special interests, you know, those people that have a lot of commercials from those same industries, the big pharma agencies promoting, of course, more substances and pills for you to take. Those people have a huge conflict of interest, and that's why they're not seeing a lot of this very important reporting. You are seeing it here, and if you value it and want to see it continue and grow, share this video with your friends and family members. We got another video with bigger truth bombs coming your way on lukeuncensored.com. If you haven't signed up yet, what are you waiting for? Great gift idea to send out to your friends, to your family members. And because you do that, I'm still here. This is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for a lot more here on wearechange.org.